Welcome back to Inside the Swing. It is Ryder Cup week, and my good friend Matt Vick. How are you, buddy?
Hey man, good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back. Today we're gonna have a lot of fun. Although we did Ryder Cup last week on the show, this week we're gonna do some ball testing.
Yeah, should be fun. You know, balls have been in the news with the Ryder Cup team in the alternate shot format. Those guys have to partner up, and they don't get to switch out balls. And balls have become such a personalized, piece of the equation.
Yep.
And so it's been difficult for the Americans, I think, to get on the same page with some of their pairs.
Yeah, so I mean, to think about that, I mean, if you're used to you're hitting the same ball all the time, and then you got to switch to alternate ball format, that could get a little different because that ball is going to react differently.
Especially when you're as finely tuned as these guys are, and their entire bags are built around the ball that they choose. You know, typically they choose a ball. They start around the greens, and they choose a ball that has the feel in the short game that they want, and because that's the most important. And then they build their bags next with the driver to get the optimal ball flight with the driver set up for the ball that they want to use around the greens, and then make sure that every other club's kind of fall in line with that.
Yeah, and especially when you're talking about a ProV1 versus a ProVX, I mean, that can get really difficult because the spin rates are going to be different.
Yeah, off the driver, especially like you said, you know, around the greens probably adjustable, but even then, man, I mean, as I'm not as finely tuned as those guys, but I can definitely tell a difference in these golf balls when you put one in my hand. So I know the guys that are playing every single day and out there doing it every single day. I mean, it matters. It matters. So today we want to go through all the ball manufacturers have kind of fallen in line on naming their golf balls. So the ProV1 and the ProV1X is similar to the Tp5 and the Tp5X and the Chrome Tour and the Chrome Tour X. So we've got the ProV1, we've got the Chrome Tour, and we've got the Tp5 from TaylorMade.
Yeah, so this will be really cool to kind of see, and this is based on his swing, my swing. It's not necessarily based on a robot. A robot would be much more consistent than us, but we're going to be able to give you feel, and that's going to be a little bit different than a robot can give you. So we're going to tell you what our feel is like. We're going to give you some great parameters. So we're going to do club speed, ball speed, attack angle, dynamic loft, spin rate, height, carry total, and then impact offset and impact height. So the reason that we have club speed, dynamic loft, and impact and offset, we want to make sure that we have consistent shots between the three balls. So we're doing true and accurate
apples to apples comparisons.
Apples to apples, exactly. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So today we're going to start out, we're going to hit the 8-iron, then we're going to jump to the sand wedge, 56 degree, and then we're going to jump up to the driver. We're going to each hit 5 balls each for each of the balls and each of the clubs. And then we're going to compare those numbers and see, one, how it feels compared to what's the best ball for us. And hopefully this will give you guys a good opportunity to kind of see, hey, it does make a difference to get tested for balls. And so here at 24 Golf, if you guys ever want to come in and you say, hey, I'm trying to decide between 3 different balls, which one's best for me, we would love to work with you. And hopefully you're going to get a little bit of insight of what that testing would be like. And then we'll try to tell you out of the 3, which one's best for our game. And hopefully you can do the same for you.
All right.
So Matt, you're going to kick us off. So let's start off. Brand new balls, just bought them. And just want to make sure that we get some good strikes in there.
Try this ProV1. I'm going to see if I can hit it solid a few times. Titleist, current ball counts on PGA Tour done by an independent study that I saw earlier this year in July for the top 150 players on the PGA Tour. Titleist was dominating the ball counts over. It was close to 70% of players on tour playing the Titleist ball. Callaway was a distant second.
Yeah.
With TaylorMade coming in, I believe, fourth.
Fourth.
Only 10 players, I believe, on tour out of the top 150 were playing a TaylorMade ball.
Interesting.
Whereas over 100 were playing Titleist. It's a pretty even split between ProV1 and ProV1X for top 150 on tour. A few more players were playing the ProV1X. And then there were some odd, a couple of the left dash players on it. And same with the random ones. But most of the players are playing either ProV1 or X, TP5 or X, Chrome Tour or X.
Okay.
And then there's tricks on some things mixed in with that. So we went with this. So we're getting a little softer feel around the greens with this guy. So we'll see kind of how it reacts off the 8-iron.
Okay.
So,
well, let's get your 5 swings in on.
Sounds good.
On the ProV1. So this is ProV1 for Matt. And as you can see, we've been warming up a little bit. So we're going to get some good swings. 5 swings, which start at swing number 19 for Matt. That's a good way to start.
That was a center strike. At least it felt like it.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. 6,000 spin rate. Height, 99 feet. Ball speed of 115. Okay. Same ball speed on the second one. Almost identical shots, except you cut it off the heel a little bit there.
We're going to throw that one out.
Yeah. Same deal, a little heely. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to take basically the top 2 out of each of the 5 shots.
Provided we have to.
That was better. Yeah, a little bit better ball speed there, a little bit more center strike. That was better. Back to that 115.
All right.
A little bit higher spin, better center strike. Okay, so Pro-V is what you normally play, correct?
I do play the X.
Okay, so you play the X versus the regular.
Play the X.
Okay.
That's a decision for me around the greens to start with, as we talked about. But I don't have anything against this ball.
Yeah. No.
A note about premium golf balls, Jeremy. I think we're getting through it in the golf industry, but there was a stigma when we talk about what the guys on tour are playing. I hear a lot of folks say, "Well, I don't need what the guys on tour. I can't play the ball that the guys on tour are playing." But that's actually not true. I grew up in the days of compression. It was all about compression. It was the ladies played like an 80 compression ball. Some folks played 90. The tour guys, oh man, they're playing 100 compression balls. And then we got into this deal where 50 and 60 compression balls, and you don't hear compression discussed at all anymore. These balls are engineered completely different than the old days, and they are specifically engineered to fit pretty much everyone.
Sure.
So the characteristics of the ball in the feel is really what matters to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and have you hit all 15 shots, because then that way you have a good comparison on feel. So we're going to start. Next one's going to be the TP5 from TaylorMade.
All right, here goes. Hit a couple with the TaylorMade, the TP5.
All right. A little faster ball speed there. Distance a little bit further. Interesting. A little bit better height. Okay, so let's just see if that stays consistent there.
That was probably the best swing I've made so far.
Okay, so back to the 116.
Now that ball speed came off a little faster with a lower club speed that time, actually.
Yeah, but look at, so that's interesting. So yeah, so 117 on that one, and that was the lowest one you've had out of the shots. Because you see, you hit 2 shots, right?
right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 56 was actually your first swing. So 83, 83, 83, pretty consistent there. 84, 84, back down to 83, 80. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So this is shot number 3 with the TaylorMade. $117, 84.
How about that? That was 1.5 miles per hour, 1.6 miles per hour faster on the club head speed, and the ball speed was actually slightly less.
Yep.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
More carry, higher. Hit a little higher on the face, looks like.
Shot 4.
That was picked real clean, Jeremy. It'll be interesting to see how that comes out.
Yeah, 119. Look at that.
No surprise. Very center strike. Zero turf interaction with the club. That's just picked really clean, almost like it was off a tee. And as a result, higher ball speed, longer carry. Makes sense.
And this is shot number 5. How'd that shot feel to you?
That was a little faster. I pulled it a little bit, but I went ahead and ripped it that one.
Okay.
Got the numbers that we kind of expect there.
Yep. All right, so let's go to the last ball. So this is Chrome Tour. I've actually never hit the Chrome Tour.
I've never hit the Chrome Tour either.
I don't think I've ever hit it. Any immediate feedback from changing to that ball?
Not with a golf swing like that. Let me try again.
Okay. So same swing speed, he just didn't hit it very well. Low and on the heel. How about that one? Wow, height, big difference there. Almost 10 feet higher. Spin rate was lower though.
Center strike, dynamic loft went up a little. Boy, I tell you what, these 3 golf balls off an 8-iron, I am really not feeling much difference between them.
Okay, so from a feel standpoint, they feel very, very similar.
Yeah, off an 8-iron, I mean, it feels like a premium golf ball.
Yep.
I think if you blindfolded me or if it didn't have any markings,
you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
I'd be able to tell. The solid ones feel fantastic. The ball jumps off the face with all of them.
Yep.
That's what you would expect. I mean, we should be splitting hairs.
Sure.
Right. And the golf ball conversation really should be a personal preference type conversation.
Yeah, I would agree.
All the manufacturers are doing too well, for there be too much disparity, you would expect. Lowers ball speed is a little bit of a mishit off the toe.
Yeah. But I do feel like the mishits that you've had with the other 2 balls have been a little bit more consistent on ball speed. I will say that.
And that's probably the best swing I've made.
Okay. Best swing you made, 119. Yeah. 110 height. All right. Yeah, so still the same. So 122, swung a little bit harder.
All right, so we'll dive into the numbers on those here in a little bit.
Yep.
But from a feel standpoint, not getting much. I mean, they're 3 premium balls from a feel standpoint. So it'll be interesting to see how the numbers shake out.
5 miles an hour is probably a little bit different, for sure.
Sure.
Between the 2.
No need to rub it in.
It's my height. It's my height.
Okay.
It's my height.
Longer levers.
Longer levers, exactly.
Jeremy does hit bombs though, so
all right.
To be expected.
Let's see. Let's see if we can get this. So ProV1 first. Okay. So same thing. And we both, I think we're both that 24 to 29. I mean, 24 to 25 seems optimum for us for an 8-iron on dynamic loft. It seems pretty consistent on that. 65. Sometimes we hit 7,000 on spin rate. Oh, hit that a little heavy. A little toey, but still decent. That was a little off hit, a little turnover. Yeah, so I'm getting much bigger height just with 4 miles an hour difference in club head speed. In that 107, right?
110.
110 range.
Yeah.
That was a good strike. A little open face, but yeah, 73. Whew. But look at my dynamic loft.
Yep.
We've been really looking at that, the difference. If I get a little bit steep into the swing, that spin rate really jumps. So keeping those hands in front of the ball through impact is really important. I think I did the opposite. Just kind of pulled it. So that's the normal ball that I'm hitting. So we'll go TP5. All right, let's see what this feels like. Toey. Lower height, but I hit it not too great. That was better. Yeah, 123. I have noticed that. I felt like that with you too. Is that when you hit this ball better, the height is a little bit higher.
A little higher.
A little higher. And the spin rate is not as high.
I'm interested to see how the, because you do have to look at the totals of the numbers, how they relate to one another.
Okay, that's about as good as I hit a ball there.
All right, we'll switch to the Callaway now.
Okay. All right.
Give us a good idea with a slightly faster club head speed. What changes, what metrics change, and how they change.
Yeah, interesting that the spin rate is lower. That was definitely lower spin rate on that TP5 ball for me, at least. Felt good. Wow. Spin rate very high, but super high on a little bit shorter in distance.
Look at the height.
Dynamic loft was
up.
Yeah.
The height was way up.
Let's get it more center. That's good.
That's a long 8-iron.
That is a long 8-iron.
Long 8-iron, Jay.
Look at that spin rate down. 91.5, 92 ball club head speed. Yeah, big there, and he's still even a little on the heel. Must be loosening up a little bit. All right, so 92, 128 ball speed, 7,000 spin rate, which is nice because it kind of, I mean, that's probably the ProV1 and the Chrome Tour, I feel like definitely had the higher spin rates. So it'll be interesting to see how those numbers.
Yeah, it will. It will.
All right, let's jump into wedges now.
Feel pretty comfortable hitting. We hit 3 shots with each.
Yeah, let's do 3.
I believe more likely to be solid. Get some good numbers here. See what happens. So again, starting with the Titleist ProV1.
Ooh, that's nice.
Just painting it, Jeremy.
Yeah. I don't even know if you need more than that.
We'll see if I can do it one more time.
Okay.
Oh. Little right.
Yeah, a little right. All right.
Should quit while I was ahead. All right.
That's okay.
So 3 good ones on the.
All right, so TP5 now.
Moving to the TP5.
Sound is a little different. I gotta admit on that. Sounds different.
That was a little bit of an off-center hit, so let's see if we can get.
How'd you feel on that one?
That was better.
So 92. Again, lower spin rate on the TP5. I've seen that consistently throughout the testing today. Oh, that was even lower there. Dynamic loft went down though, so you little kind of hit that one a little bit lower. 84 in height. I think the ProV has definitely been the highest spin rate.
All right, feel good about those.
Okay.
Good for testing.
Yeah. All right. And don't worry, we're going to break down all the numbers at the end and give you guys a good opportunity to see the difference between all of these shots. All right.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, it's important to realize that all the metrics together paint the best picture of what's going on, because we can manipulate different swings to create different numbers and a different result. So spin rate can be a result of several different things besides the ball characteristics themselves.
Exactly.
Which is the reason why we use all this. We'll put all this data together and make sure we're comparing apples to apples at the end.
Apples to apples.
Apples to apples, that's right.
All right.
All right, Jay.
So 56, this ProV.
Hit 9 balls. I made 4 birdies out of those. So
I know. When we played the other day, you were deadly from 100 yards and in. That felt good. Felt really good.
Now you're usually a ProV1 man.
Yeah, usually ProV1. I don't hit X. Even though my swing speed is higher, I tend to have a lot lower spin. I tend to not really throw it under and create a lot of spin. So I tend to go down to the ProV. So I just
alluding to the fact that the X is a higher spin ball on the long game.
Yes,
that's what Jeremy's mentioning there. So he likes the lower. The lower spinning ball.
A little toey on that one. Still pretty good. Whew, my dynamic loft. You can see I threw my hands at that one.
The launch characteristics of your driver would suggest a ProV1 as well.
That wasn't 3. I had 1 good swing out of that. So that was the ProV1 that I normally play. Now TP5. That was better. Woo! Look at that spin rate. Wow. 11,000.
11,000.
Yowza. That's going to be spinning off the planet. Okay.
Your dynamic loft was lower, and as a result, spin rate a lot lower.
I wonder what that, I didn't see that dynamic loft on the last one, but
it was over 39. Good pass there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect. The spin rates, about 9,200 was right where I was as well.
Yep. Man.
56-degree wedge?
56. All right, let's do the chrome tour. Oh, I helped that one a little bit. That was better. Okay, still in that 9100 range.
All right, what do you think about, feel wise? Can you tell the difference in these balls at all with the wedge?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I definitely think the ProV1 felt a little bit softer coming off the club.
Okay.
That would be my only difference, though.
And when you say softer coming off the wedge, is that a positive thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for me, really feeling, because I mean, when it feels hard, it feels thin. And so even if I don't hit it thin, it feels thin. So psychologically, it's like, oh, then I'm starting to dig into it a little bit more. So feeling that softness and feeling like I can barely feel the ball coming off the club definitely makes a difference for me. But
I ask because feel is such a personal preference. There's don't let anybody tell you that it's supposed to feel a certain way.
Yeah,
it's all about what feels good to you. And to you, the firmer ball off a wedge feels clanky. It feels like a mishit.
Yeah, it feels like a mishit. Yep, absolutely. So
cool.
All right, now the big one. Now the big boy.
All right.
So the big boy makes a huge difference. It's gonna be interesting because we didn't really see a ton of difference between these three balls. And so,
unless something crazy comes back when we really dive into the numbers, I don't think we're going to get a big difference in the three balls.
Yeah,
off the 8-iron and the wedge.
But what's interesting about that is ProVs dominate the tour and probably dominate sales. And so, if you're looking for a good premium ball at a lower price, I don't even know what the price is on these. I'll have to look up the price. When we do the numbers, we'll look at the price too. We'll compare all of the categories from there.
For sure.
All right, so now we're doing jump into the driver.
All
right, so now we got driver. And so with driver, we're going to change it up a little bit. So we're going to take away our impacts. And we're going to just put in smash because most of us go by smash factor. That tells us how center contact we're getting. And then we actually added in launch angle as well. So let's start off with ProV for Matt. Let's see where we're going to put us at. Okay. 2,600 on the spin, 150 smash, so dead center of the face. And see, his attack angle is so unique. It's the mind blow. It's probably, I'm as mind blown as he is of mine because mine is so different and his is more neutral. But if you look at Tour Pro averages, most Tour Pro averages is in that 0.6. I mean, they're actually more center than you think. All right, good. Little cutty there, little open face. All right, so that's the Pro V. So now let's jump over to the TP5. Does that ball feel heavier to you just because it's a softer ball versus you hitting the TP5 or versus you hitting the X?
Titleist has tried to bring the performance of the ProV1 and the X closer together in the last few years.
Yep.
With the new iterations. Used to the ProV to me felt a lot softer.
Yep.
And as a result, actually, you did sacrifice a little bit of distance to play the golf ball. Sure. Under most testing conditions. Not a lot, but a little bit. I think in order to get the numbers more like the X, they did firm it up a little bit from a feel standpoint. And the X to me does have a little bit more of a click.
Yep.
But the one does not feel dead almost like it used to.
Gotcha.
It used to feel soft to me.
So when you're thinking about a ball, what's
Mhm.
the most consistent? Is it consistent? Is it distance? Like what is from your standpoint? What do you want to see the best of?
Yeah, it's 1,000% around the greens first. So
Okay.
I'm picking the ball that I want to chip and putt with because and mostly chip, honestly, because that's the most important. I got to be able to maneuver the ball around the greens.
Okay.
Workability is a very minor portion of that. Can I get it to spin? Can I move an 8-iron, 7-iron left and right a little bit when needed? Fine. But it's around the greens first, and then honestly, once I get the greens situation dialed in, I just want the ball that goes the furthest, and I'm just trying to match it up.
Okay.
So really, from feel standpoint, they're all similar enough. I can get behind any of them.
Yep.
I'm not like none of them are so hard or so soft that I can't hit it.
Sure.
It's truly matching up with my driver and my equipment, get the most performance.
Okay.
So.
All right. So TP5 now. Let's see 3 shots with the TP5. Much higher ball flight on that one. Higher spin rates on that one. You feel like you hit that much different?
No, not really.
Yeah, so your smash was 147 on that one versus 150.
I did. Tack angle was more down. That would explain.
Oh, yeah. A little bit more.
Lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 116. I was back to that 150. So that's going to give us a really good comparison right there. So that was 150, 108, attack angle. Now that spin rate was definitely higher than what we saw with the ProV.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably 400 or 500 RPMs higher. Okay. Still that 150. Now you did tug that one a little bit. That one got it a little bit better into that 105. Okay. All right. Last one. The Chrome Tour. Yeah, spin rate still 149. Tack angle a little bit down again. Put the last good one on this one. Yeah, tack angle down again. Okay. All right. All right. So my turn, which is going to be drastically different from what you just saw with Matt. But overall, how did you feel about these 3 balls when you were hitting those shots?
Feel wise off the driver, I don't know that I could tell the difference.
Okay.
Truly.
So just felt the same, just a different swing, just a couple different swings.
I guess that makes sense. These golf balls are engineered for the same type players. The players looking for the same type feel and distance and characteristics. So I guess they should be similar.
Okay. All right.
Important to keep in mind, probably, PGA Tour averages, they average about that 149 smash that we've been talking about.
Yep.
Smash is just the ratio in club head speed to ball speed. So smash factor at 150, 1.5, 100 mile an hour club head speed produces a ball speed of 150 miles an hour,
Yep.
1.5 ratio. That's pretty much max. That just means that you're delivering all the power of that club head speed into the ball.
Yep.
At the 1.5, excuse me.
Yeah, and that's something that I've always struggled with this club, and I don't know why. We've had many of discussions on this. Mm-hmm. Me getting to 145 or me getting to 150 is extremely hard with this club, and we don't really know why, but the numbers are so good we don't even care.
Yeah, there's a law of diminishing returns when you start messing around with it too much. You know, numbers we saw on my driver, 148, 149, 150, right around the. And honestly, I don't know how I got that either. Some drivers are just different. Mine's just probably a little hotter, a little thinner face.
Yep.
Honestly.
All right.
All right, let's see it, Jeremy.
All right, let's change it up a little bit. Now you're going to see some drastically different numbers.
Break the machine.
From my side.
First, big rip with the ProV1.
Okay. Oh, we didn't get smash. I got to switch over to smash. I did not get smash. So we'll need to switch that a little bit. And launch angle. So we're going to switch these out. And then we're going to put in smash left. Oh, no. To the smash index. Go to the left. Yep, there we go. And launch angle. We should be good to go there. And just click off the side. Yep, that's it. All right, so there we go. There's better. Yeah, so 146 for me is good. I mean, I'm usually that's usually optimum for me. I have not been able. I've had a 149 one time. I have no idea how I got there, but again, I'm super happy with my numbers. But look at my attack angle versus Matt's.
9 degrees up.
Yeah,
Jeremy's club is bottoming. If we could show the low point on here, his club reaches the bottom of its arc, and then he is very much coming up into the ball. Mine tends to be, the low point tends to be at the ball. The club is down and even bottoming out right at the ball, or even down a little bit.
Yeah.
Tour average is about level, maybe a little bit negative. Notorious guys like Sergio that would really hit down on the ball all the time. You see him take divots with 3-woods. Phil Mickelson take a divot with a 3-wood.
Yep.
That's really not your style.
No, I'm more like Rory. If you saw the Rory and Tiger little YouTube thing that they did the other day, he was in these numbers. He was in this 8 to 9 degree.
Talking about Rory?
Yeah, 8 inches behind the ball, bottoming out. So I just love it because I like to really keep my hand steady through the ball, kind of quiet my hands, and it just keeps that spin rate down.
It's hard to argue with Rory's numbers, potentially the best driver of all time.
Yeah.
I mean,
incredible.
It's hard to say he's not the best driver of the golf ball in the current game, and it's certainly up there with all time. He is a big power player. He likes to hit a high draw.
Mm-hmm.
So those things make sense to me from the standpoint of the club shallowing out a little bit earlier. Same as you. You can hit a really nice high draw.
Yep.
Exactly. That's not my preferred shot. My preferred shot's more of a squeeze cut.
Yep.
So these things make sense. This is how we evaluate these numbers and just kind of learn from them.
Exactly. Oh, a little left, I think, on that one. Not too bad. Oh, 147. Uh-oh. Hey. We're creeping up to that 150.
Up there. So this is your preferred ball of choice to play. It's your gamer. I'm seeing really good numbers here. If I could get my launch angle, let's kind of take a snapshot of this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to launch the ball as high as I can while still maintaining a low spin rate or an optimal spin rate.
Yep.
I want my launch angle to be as high as possible while maintaining the spin rate under 2,500 that we talked about. That ball, under 2,500, that ball is hitting the ground and it's really rolling out.
Yeah.
But you're not sacrificing distance, carry distance, because your launch angle is still so high, up in the 15s. My launch angle for comparison was 11 or 12.
Right.
Which is a little on the low side. Yours is a little on the high side, which is great. I wish I could launch mine higher. And so this is great, man. And the height of these drivers, these are really good looking numbers right here, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, I've been really happy with the driver for sure. It's definitely helped my game tremendously. Keeping the ball in play and having confidence with the driver is a game changer in my opinion.
Outside of the short game, it's the most important.
Oh, I flipped that one though. That one's definitely left.
Talked you up too much. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm entitled to have a bad shot here and there. All right, so that was the Pro V. What I tend to do on that is just get a little hippie, get a little I slide a little bit and just get that thing going a little bit too much from the inside.
Still seeing good numbers in terms of the ball performance. That ball did what it's supposed to do given all the other factors. Low spin rate with a high launch. That's fantastic.
Yep. All right. So Tp5. Oh, I came up on that one. I hit that really low on the face, but it's going to get away with it. So you can see my smash went dramatically down, but good miss. We'll take those misses. I love good misses. All right, let's see if we can get a good one out there. That was better.
167 ball speed. Boy, look at that. I'm seeing a launch over 15 degrees. I'm seeing a spin rate still around 2,000.
Yeah.
With a similar club head speed. I mean, these are, again, these are very similar numbers. These golf balls are.
Yeah, I actually thought we would see a bigger disparity. This is where I thought we'd really see the difference. But again, they've come really, really close.
Woo! 293 carry.
Yeah.
That's your fastest club head speed.
Yeah, that one felt. I hit it just a smidge on the outside of the, just a smidge on the outside, not really on the toe, but off center.
That's reflected in the smash. Lost just a little bit of power. Just ever so slightly.
All right, last one.
Chrome Soft. Chrome Tours. Not Chrome Soft. Chrome Tour.
Chrome Tour.
Chrome Tour. With the gold stripe. Kind of like the look of that thing.
That one was ripped. That was a good swing there.
That's your new fastest club speed today.
Yeah.
The driver clocking in at 116. Notably lower long.
I noticed that. That was interesting. That launch was way different.
Did you notice anything different about the contact?
No, I mean it was solid. I mean it felt solid.
Yeah, let's see. Your dynamic loft was down just a little bit, but let's see how this plays out with this golf ball.
A little bit slower ball speed. A little higher. Woo! Spun that one off the planet. That was interesting there. That is a throw. We'll have to throw that one out, I think. I don't know what I did there, to be honest with you.
Missed a couple of 182 feet in the area. That's impossible.
Yeah. I must have just went, woo! Yeah, I mean, it's possible because I kind of just flipped it at the bottom. All right, let's see if I can fix this. But again, dead straight. Loving that. Yeah, I felt a little right on that one. Definitely pushed that one. Little fade there.
All right. You're getting great numbers with all three of these golf balls, though, Jeremy.
Yeah. I'm going to hit one more. I'm going to hit one more because I had that little funky one in the middle.
One more.
One more.
But I'm seeing high launch. I'm seeing optimal spin rates. These balls are getting out of there. They're getting out of their nice flat trajectory and then hitting the ground and rolling.
Yeah.
When conditions allow for it.
All right, let's see if we can get one good one left. Oh, no, that was not good. That's all right, though.
Hey, ball don't lie, Jeremy. The smash shows, slightly off center hit. The club speed was up still, but it wasn't quite transferred into ball speed.
Yeah, just hit it low on the face.
I mean, still good numbers. The ball's not doing anything that it shouldn't do under those conditions.
No, and that was what was most amazing is like from a feel standpoint, for me, it felt like a heavier ball. I don't know. I don't even know how to say that. It feels like it compresses more maybe. It just feels heavier coming off. It doesn't feel like it pops as much.
Okay. Speaking of the chrome.
Yeah, just the chrome. And I definitely felt like my trajectory was much lower. It was more of a penetrating kind of ball flight. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting to look at the numbers. So we're going to jump into the studio and we're going to dissect all of the numbers and let's see if we can give them some good insight into how we feel about the ProV1 versus the Tp5 versus the Chrome Tour.
Awesome.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. So we're in studio now, and we're just going to kind of go through some of these numbers and kind of see, as you guys saw, we went through 3 to 5 balls per ball, per club, and really trying to dive into, hey, is there any substantial difference that we could see that would change our mind to switch to a new ball?
Yeah, we talked about, Jeremy, the standard kind of practice of a tour player is going to be to start around the greens. The better players are going to want to find a ball that performs for them the way they want it to around the greens, off the wedges, chipping, putting, and control and spin, 100 yards and in, 110 yards and in.
Yep.
Really the scoring area, because that is the most important. From there, they'll typically work backwards into the driver because the driver numbers is the next most important thing. Got to make sure that the ball's not coming off too spinny, too flat, it's launching the way they want to. There's a feel to the driver, but I think it's secondary to feel around the greens. And then I think the irons would probably be the last consideration to force a change in golf ball. But I tell you, just breaking down the numbers, when I start comparing apples to apples with these 3 golf balls across the board, the pattern that I see is very consistent. When I take 3 swings that are similar, with each ball, that I'm getting a similar club head speed, a similar smash factor, so therefore a similar ball speed, I'm seeing very, very similar numbers.
Data across the board.
Very similar data across the board. Maybe a slight uptick with the Titleist ProV1 in terms of launch. It seems to launch just maybe a quarter of a degree, half a degree higher on average for me than the other 2 balls. I think the Chrome Soft spun just a little bit more for me. But when I say these things, I'm splitting hairs with these golf balls.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we both feel like for the average player, they're not going to see any difference between any of these golf balls.
I would be surprised if your average player, recreational player, would see any difference in these golf balls.
Yeah, and I think at that point it's about feel, and it's probably about price. Hey, there's good deals out there, and I'm going to save a little bit of money this week because there's a big sale. Hey, go out and get you a TP5. If there's no sale between the difference and you're used to playing the same ball, hey, play the same ball.
We talk about MSRP in the industry. It's manufacturer suggested retail pricing. All three companies have this ball listed at $55 or $54.99, depending on the thing. That's the lowest that they can. That's the manufacturer suggested. Then they've got a floor of the price that they can sell. But I noticed that some do offer 3 dozen packs. Like on the TP5 right now, so maybe you get a slight, discount on something like that.
Right.
But I'm not bragging when I say that I've played a lot of golf, and I just don't see. I could put one of these in play today, any of them. I believe I'd be relatively happy.
Yeah, and so let's just look at some of the numbers that we had hit. So I was looking at some. So I'm just basing it off of. Let's just start based off of ball speed. So I have 3 different ball speeds. So I got a 167, a 167.2, and a 167.4. All 3 different balls. So the 0.4, the last one is the ProV1. The second one, the 167.2, is the TP5. And then the Chrome Tour is the 167. So this is all with my driver. So on the Chrome Tour, I had a carry, or I'll just say, we'll just go through total. So I had a total of 306 for the 167 ball speed. For the TP5, I had a total of 315. And then for the 167.4, I had a total of 306. So just based off of that parameter alone, the TP5 actually went further. But that's actually probably pretty consistent, because we consistently saw that the TP5 spun less. I think we both really saw that a lot through all of the things, or all of the testing that we did today. So even on those launch angles, now the launch angle for the 306 on the TP4 or on the Chrome Tour was 17-degree launch angle. Woo! I put that thing up in the air. So that's crazy numbers there. And then 12 degrees on the ProV1, and then 15 degrees on the TP5. And so, there's so many parameters that matter on how far you hit the ball. Spin, launch angle, club head speed, center of contact. These are all important factors. So based on ours, yeah, did one fly further? Does one spin less? I still believe probably if I took a deep dive into every single number that we looked at, I would say the TP5 is the least spin of all 3 of these balls.
Interesting.
For me.
Yeah. I couldn't tell a difference. I'm a Titleist guy. Always have been. I like the feel and performance of the Titleist balls around the green. So, that's the first factor for me. Off the driver, off the 8-iron, off the wedge, I honestly just don't see enough differences in any of the numbers that I'm seeing to make a determination one way or the other. Durability is something that would come into play for me personally. Yeah, if I'm buying, I'm not buying my own golf balls.
And we could technically test that in here, but we just have to hit it a lot of times.
So we hit a lot more than we hit today.
Just keep hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting the same ball over and over, and see how long it lasts. Because that's what's crazy about indoor, is that you could actually test durability. Yeah. And what we see on typical, about 100 shots with the same ball over and over. Well, no, it's got to be more than that before, because it will start to wear the paint out. Right. Like you'll wear it off that much. Like the dimples will start. So I think we would keep. No, it's got to be more than 100 shots, because that's like a round of golf for most people.
Well, you figure 100 full shots though. They're all full shots in the simulator. So 100 shots in the simulator, you're hitting the golf ball hard. no more than 40 times around.
Yeah.
Maybe even less. So you're talking about, that's almost 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Worth of, so, factor in a little bit of the friction with the mat and the screen. And I would say, I would expect the paint to start peeling off the balls after 100 shots.
And we've even split some.
Is that right?
Yeah, we've actually split some balls. And I would guess it'd be venture into that 1,000, just over and over and over. And then finally it just breaks in half.
Yeah. The biggest durability factor for me, and this would take some outdoor testing, is the little nicks you get on the ball, with the wedges, where the grooves peel the ball just a little bit on the cover. Nothing like it used to with the old Bellatas where you could hit one in the forehead and put a big smiley face across it.
Yep.
You can't cut these things, but the wedges do definitely impact the cover of the golf ball. And at some point, I do believe that the friction on those things, Golf WRX, I had done some testing on durability of golf balls and how much effect imperfections on the cover had after certain rounds of play. Now, the ball manufacturers actually, and I don't know I think they're doing themselves a disservice.
Yep.
But they say that the slight nicks and dings on the golf ball that occur during the regular course of a round are not enough to make a big enough difference to take the ball out of play. They say that it takes, one ball engineer told me even a dime sized, scuff or scrape it would take to really make them take it out of play. So, the bottom line is golf balls have come a long way.
No kidding.
And I think
from when we played in high school. Oh, I mean, it's dramatically different between those times.
Yeah, we're telling our age, but I was around for the Tour Professional, which was a revolutionary ball.
I was around for the Bellata.
And then, we played Bellatas growing up. We're the same age. We played Bellatas growing up. It was good when we get our hands on a sleeve of those. And man, the smell of those things coming out of that little black box was unbelievable.
The egg was fantastic.
Those things were awesome. And then the advent of the Tour Professional, and then I had turned pro about the time that the ProV1 came out. And that's back when Nicholas was talking about seam in it. So it had a clear seam on the ball. And everybody swore that if you seamed it just right, that you get a few more yards out of the driver. But the ProV1 completely changed the game.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But I think just like we're seeing with the club manufacturers, all the numbers are getting a lot tighter with these different manufacturers. Yeah. So, as expected for me anyway, the balls are very, very similar.
Well, I want to see something, because I think spin rate probably, in my opinion, is, and I would love for you to pull up your spin rates too, because spin rate is if you have a ball that you currently play and you stay pretty consistent in your spin rates, testing it on spin rate really actually makes a huge difference. Because I'm looking at mine, my ProV1 spun 2100, 2000, 2100. My TP5 spun 2100, 2000, 2100. So it actually didn't spin less or more.
Almost identical.
It was almost identical. But then I got into the Chrome Soft, and my Chrome Soft was 2160, 2370, 2130. So more consistent over, the total. Now I did have that one outlier that was just nuts. Sure. And we didn't know what happened, but everything else has been in that 2300 to 2100. Now I know on your driver was spinning crazy for some reason in this session, but I wanted to kind of test that against the irons too, to see, if we took in the spins, especially with the wedges, because we said we started with wedges and we just looked at spin. Where's my spin at? Where are you at? Smash, spin. There we are. All right. So for the Chrome, Of Chrome Tour, I was at 9100, 9200, 9100. For the TP5, I was at 9200, 9100, 11,000. That was that one TP5 that I don't know what I did there.
Out of nowhere, right?
It was just out of nowhere. I just spun it off the planet. Launch direction, yeah, it was just crazy. But all of my launch angles were consistent. And then but here we go. On my ProV1, I was 9,000, 10,000, and 9,100. So I never once saw above 9,100 or 9,200 with the Chrome Tour. But with these, I did have a couple that I jumped up above 10,000. And if you look on tour, I'd say that average is right around 10,000 spin rate on wedges.
Yeah.
And so, I think at the end of the day, if you have a ball that you like, that's your comparison. Like that's your base numbers. So you really need to get those base numbers dialed in. So if you came in here, we would ask you which ball that you played, and we would look at what those numbers are producing for you from there. And then what we would do is we would say, okay, what are you thinking about going to? Mm-hmm. And we would compare we would do much more than 5 shots. We just did this just to kind of give you guys an idea of what you would experience. But we would probably have you hit 20 or 30 shots to really get a good overall. And then what we could do with TrackMan technology is we can give you those averages just based on those shots. We didn't do a very good job of separating them today to give you those averages, but that's how we can compare your ball. So it's a really detailed ball fitting to really decide, hey, am I hitting the right ball?
Sure. For starters, we're going to see if we think you're hitting the right ball for your game to start with.
Absolutely.
Which we find that, I mean, quite often, more than it should happen, the player doesn't really understand what the ball is trying to accomplish or who it's for, and if it even fits them correctly. Maybe they just started buying it because they got them on sale. Maybe they picked up a few, their buddy gave them one, or their buddy plays it. I mean, folks have lots of reasons over the years, sure, I've found, to start playing a certain ball. Maybe there's a different ball from the same manufacturer even, or from a different manufacturer that's going to fit your game a little bit better. That's the starting point, right?
Yeah.
And then I think you can hone it in from there probably. And if you're brand loyal, that's fine too. I've played Titleist balls since I was a kid. They're the number one ball in golf for a reason. It's hard to go away from them.
Yeah, and with this test today, we're not testing 3 different types of balls. We're basically doing the same type of ball from 3 different manufacturers.
This is the best each manufacturer has in that category, so to speak.
We would do something completely different with you guys. Let's just say you're trying to decide if you should have a distance ball, a Pro V, or should you have an X. Yes. We would do 3 different types of balls to make sure that you are actually playing the right ball. And that's what's very distinctive between this. These are all similar types of balls.
And remember, you pay for what you get. There is no such thing as a golf ball, and Titleist will tell you this. They will be honest with you. If you pay $30 a dozen for a golf ball, you're not getting the performance that you're going to get from a $55 a dozen golf ball. Yeah. Now, does that matter to you? Maybe in future episodes we can look at really the performance difference in a $30 ball and a $55 ball.
If you're losing 6 balls around, don't play a Pro V1. Just get your game where you need to be. It's not going to make that big of a difference, I promise you, from an amateur standpoint. But if you're losing balls and you're going through a dozen balls around, let's not be spending $55 on a dozen.
And I'd rather you play a new golf ball as to buy some reclaimed stuff. Just because it's a Pro V and it's been at the bottom of the lake for 6 months or longer. Yeah. You don't know how long it's been there. So I would rather you play a new golf ball off the rack that's not optimal, or perhaps not a quote unquote premium golf ball, but play new eggs. It's more fun. It's more fun to play with new eggs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So that was fun. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed kind of going through the ball. I mean, it was good to see that there wasn't a huge difference. Obviously, ProV1s have just dominated the market. But at the end of the day, these other manufacturers are really producing great golf balls.
They're catching up, I believe.
Absolutely. And I think at the end of the day, if you want to play a premium golf ball, just find the one that's the most economical and go out there and grab that ball. Because you're not going to see that much of a difference. And if you say you're seeing that much of a difference, we're going to guess it's probably your swing.
Might be a little suspect.
Yeah, exactly. So, as always, this is Inside the Swing. We are doing this weekly show. We want you guys to subscribe. Please follow us. It really helps us grow the channel. And we're going to continue to do this each and every week, come up with new ideas. And hopefully you guys will start chiming in and giving us some good ideas to talk about. And if you're ever in the Pinehurst area, definitely come see us. We have a ton of people that come to the Pinehurst area each and every year. And you can definitely book a time here at 24 Golf if you want to come see us. Or hey, if you got something cool and you want to get on the show, reach out to us as well. We always love having guests.
Absolutely.
So
Love to have you.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for watching as always. Please subscribe, follow us on social media. And for Matt Vick, I'm Jeremy Lee. This is Inside the Swing. We'll see you on the tee.
Deuces.